What's up, everyone? Sorry, I just realized I ran out of time. Hang on one second. We're getting started. All right. I forgot to do. Let's drop good luck cookies in the chat. I'm gonna do that. Try to do this like first thing before I hop into chat. Chomp, chomp, chomp. There we are. All right. What's up, everyone? Okay, it's a microphone. Eventually, I'm gonna get actually out like an actual microphone arm, and it'll come up. But I just hadn't done it yet. All right, guys. Ice cream. Why do I have ice cream, you ask? I never get on stream. That's true. But celebrate it. Because the damn chicken coop's done. I'm so happy. That chicken coop it was the song that never ends. Hang on. Do this real quick here. Show y'all this. There we are. The chicken coop. It's finally done. Finally. And this whole spot, for some reason, just turned into a mud pit with the rain. So I had these old boards I just threw down so we had something to walk on. But finally, this is all for one chicken. The one and only one that survived the massacre. For now. Now that she's actually out of the brooder and she's into the chicken coop, I can start working on getting some more chickens. Because the feed store, not too far from my house, gets them pretty frequently. Do some more MySQL hacks because we were just starting to get into the good stuff. Let's see here. All right, cool. So we're going to connect over. The lab might still be warming up, unfortunately. So I saw something funny on X, actually. I was getting ready to post that the stream was going live on there. And I was looking at hashtags, and I noticed there's one, it's called Hackers Stay Away. So I went to go check it out. It's literally these guys just hawking their service, like, we'll break into your social media accounts if you know. And I was like, I thought about just hashtag squatting on them, but I was like, nah, let's not poke that bear right now. Oh shit, I just realized I forgot something. Hang on. Let me go over into OPSEC mode. I gotta turn on something. There we go. I had to turn on a couple of my monitors so I could keep track of what's going on. Still trying to connect to Guacamole. So I hope everybody is having a fantastic Sunday. Got to have a good restful day. This wasn't so bad. This was like, there was just lots of little things to finish on the coop. And I got to take like a 2-hour nap today. It was wonderful. What is up with the lab taking so long to boot up? Alright, so about this. We had 120 hours on here. We're already down to 44 hours. And the burn rate on the lab is approximately maybe 18 hours a week. No, let's see. Because we do 6 streams, 4 of those become this. Those last for anywhere 3 to 4 hours. So it's anywhere from 12 to 15 hours a week. So we got less than 3 weeks worth of lab time left here. In theory, 3 to 4 weeks. That sucks because I don't think it's enough to carry me through the exam because I wanted to keep the lab up and running during the exam also, if in case I needed to test something. So, I'm going to try this again. Hopefully, we're going to be able to connect to it this time. Alright, let me try something else. Let's try connecting to a different system just for grins and giggles. Let's try our Workstation 2 system. Because the lab's been up for several minutes. Alright, that would have worked. What's wrong with the other stuff? I'm gonna be real sad if I have to reset the attack box. Because Workstation 2 is working just fine. What's up with the attack box? Alright, let's try power cycling it. We're gonna stop the attack. Yeah, reboot. Here we go. And we'll let that chill out for just a second. Let's see. So one of the other things we can do, we can also connect a tool we've got in the lab called HeidiSQL to where we can connect to the SQL server, and then we'll have a pretty little command line interface or a GUI interface. However, so I was trying to think, do we have any helper functions we might want to do that we can add into the script that might help with that? But I don't think anything's going to really help with that. Hello. User with an exceptionally long name. Welcome. Yo, what's up? I want to call you Sherrick. Sherrick. There we go. It's my password. You want to see my password? Yeah. Hold on. Wait a second. There's my password. Twitch has this really cool thing where actually, if you type a password into chat, it'll detect it and it will just replace it with stars. This better connect. What the hell is going on? Let me check something. Let me go to documents. Where's our attack box? Do I have any files? We've only got this stuff here. Damn it, I cannot remember. No, we were actually working through a lab called the Red Team Ops course, and right now it's giving us trouble. It doesn't usually have this kind of lab trouble, but if you want to check it out, there it is. It's a fantastic course, especially for the price. It's really nice. So we've been running through there and learning how to use a tool called Cobalt Strike. That's normally a paid C2, and it's a very expensive program. It's like $3,000 a year, but you get access to it as part of the lab environment here. So that's what we've been using it for, and going through and just creating some little custom tools for it. But that's the wrong tab. For some reason, the lab is just not connecting our attack box. And I'm going to be really sad if the attack box is like broken for some reason, because that means we'll have to go through and do all the freaking payload evasions again. The oh, that would make me so sad. Come on. You can do this. Come on, Guacamole. I have faith in you. This is rather uncool. Let me see something. Man, I don't want to revert this box. Because that means we're going to have to redo everything we just did the other night with redoing all of our payload evasions. And that would... I mean, it's not a bad exercise to run through. It's just a pain in the ass. Thankfully, we connect over to our attack Linux. This system is separate. This is the one actually running the server. So it's got our Cobalt Strike profile up there. Let's see here. Sudosu, I think it's attacker, I think. There we go. CD, do Cobalt Strike, and then what's the name of it? It was C2 profiles. So we cat C2 profiles. Normal web bug. See, if we look at this one here, see, it's got all of our evasion stuff built into it. We've got our stager modifications. We've got our post-exploitation modifications. Hey, Franklin, what's up? So this part would stay, but this was actually honestly the easiest part to set up. If we can't get it back into the damn attack box because the box is borked, we have to go remodify the binaries. Oh, wait. Don't breathe. We might knock it over. Huzzah! Finally! The hell took it so long? Man. Here, give me one sec. Right back. Alright, I'm back. Unplug these headphones before I choke myself on the cable. Alright, cool. What do I do? I want to check something real quick here. So we were making the modifications of running everything through WSL. So I want to pull up WSL. I want to go look at something real fast. So we'll give this a second to boot up. There we go. All right. CD to... There we go. To our artifact kit, to an LS. Okay, so it doesn't have it in here. What I was hoping. What I was hoping was this artifact kit would be initialized as like a Git repository, and then we could diff this and we could make a real quick copy of the differences that we made. This would be the kind of stuff you might do over in a CI/CD, right? You'd have these, you'd have like the artifact kit as part of the CI/CD, have different changes you want to be made to the file, then have it just be thrown in there, have it rebuild. That would be really cool. I'd like to mess with this some more, but let me look at something real quick. What's the stack spoof? Curious. I've heard of stack spoofing, but I've not dug into it. Let's see. Arsenal Kit's been updated to implement stack spoofing using the Microsoft Fiber functions. Oh, snap. That is something that I believe is covered in the Maldev Academy. I think you can search for it. Let me see. Search Fiber. Yeah, there you go. Utilizing fibers for payload execution. I love this course. I would really like to go through the Maldev Academy. I think it might be slated for post RTO2. So remember, we're doing RTO1 right now. RTO2 would come through and do lots more of evasion type stuff, but the Maldev Academy stuff would be super cool. The only challenge I've got to the Maldev Academy is the creators have asked me not to use any code snippets directly from the course, which is understandable. But that means I got to go through and I got to have time to really understand the module ahead of time before we do a stream on it, so we can try and develop the code snippets ourselves on stream. That would be a much longer and harder process, but it's going to be more fruitful also. Okay, so unfortunately that didn't pan out what I was hoping. What I was hoping was going to happen here, so we got our build script, and we've modified things in source common and source main. If we modified those, then we could just get a diff file between the two. Don't think we can. And I'm pretty sure those changes were not tracked inside of VS Code. So let's go ahead and hit this. Let's go ahead and get our Cobalt Strike terminal up. Mech, my brother, what's up, dude? Did you get hit by that storm front that just came through? At your current domicile, I mean. Yeah. I was asleep for most of it. I try to go catch like an hour nap before the stream because it runs so late. Okay. Yeah, that was dude, of course, we're like, hey, we just finished the chicken coop and moved the chicken in, and then the first thing she gets is a massive thunderstorm. I was like, talk about a bad first impression. Let's remove these old sessions, and we're gonna come over to workstation 1. So somebody will ask me, hey, how come we're not doing some kind of exploit to get the beacon on workstation 2? The reason is because a lot of times when you're doing a red team assessment, like for a client, that's what this course is meant to emulate, is teaching you how to do a red team assessment for somebody who has hired you to come in and do it against their environment. You're going to start with what's called an assumed breach. You're going to skip a lot of the preamble stuff and assume like, okay, building a phishing campaign or doing external exploit recon, stuff like that. And you're going to send them a package of your C2 agent that they can install and run on a victim system. And that's going to give them an idea of, hey, where they can start in the environment. So RTO makes that same implementation. So we just come over here to our PowerShell and we run that. That actually took me a little bit to understand differently. And it was kind of frustrating about the course in the beginning. But once I realized that's how things were kind of set up, I was like, okay, this makes complete sense. Let's see. Yeah, actually, I want to start with this DNS beacon here. You didn't find shit. Quit complaining. I was at the window watching to make sure there wasn't hail beating up my truck. Yeah, that sounds about right. You do have a nice truck. What was found? Please tell me this console history. Okay, cool. Don't care about the console history. Actions. I don't want to... Never mind. Screw you. Anyway, we should have had a DNS check in here. Hey, Totes. What's up, dude? Happy Sunday. Ah, cool. So, remember, see how we're, like, missing all the metadata? That's a default configuration for DNS beacons. So we have to have it run the check-in command if we want it to actually come back to us. Or we can just have it run any other command. So I'm going to just... The command I'm going to run is just have the sleep go to 10 seconds instead of 60 seconds. And that'll come check in for us. The reason I ran this particular style of beacon is because this is what you might use for long-term persistence. You're going to have this set up, and let's say between reboots, you might lose your other beacons, but this is the one that always comes back to you. So, Totes, I'm so happy. I finally finished the chicken coop, man. It only took 4 6-hour days to do it. Right. Let's see here. So this is up and running now. I'm gonna try something real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna just try spawn x64 HTTP. And this, as soon as the check-in happens, it should instantly come back and then it should go interactive there. See what happens. The reason why DNS is used so much as like a backup, last resort, long-term persistence channel is because it's really slow. The amount of bandwidth you can push through a DNS channel is pretty limited. I was wondering, were you blue team before? If so, why did you quit? Am I making a mistake for my family life getting into it first? No, dude, I was blue team for a long time. So I did a lot of let's call it general IT administration whenever I was going through college. So that was kind of nice because then whenever I graduated, and that started about 2010. So then whenever I graduated from college, I had 5 years of IT experience already. So I literally graduated on a Saturday. Monday, I had to take my diploma to my HR orientation and prove that I did actually have a degree. Why? It didn't matter because my freaking degree was in math. What does it matter if I'm applying to an IT job? But that's what I needed. So I actually was doing the interview during finals week. And so that started me off as like a blue team analyst, checking on like logs coming in on systems, looking for creating various logging environments, stuff like that. I did that for about a year, but then another job came up that was paying me like 30% more. So I left and I took that job. And that was doing security engineering for a company that, without going into details, lost their entire IT infrastructure. So it was to greenfield a completely new security infrastructure. I was there for about 3 years. And then after that, I left and went to, started doing penetration testing. So I've been doing that for the last 6 years. So no, I did start on the blue side. And I thought about doing it, but the security engineering, if you don't have a company with a good management staff, it, like anything else, it makes it miserable. Yeah, Mech was also on the blue team side for a long time before he went into penetration testing. And now we're like, I don't want to go back. And no, don't be wrong, I love my blue teamers, and I'm very grateful for them, because in the long run, they are actually more important than the red team guys. If I have to be perfectly honest, even though red team does serve an important role, if you had to stack rank them, blue team, like security engineer guys, are going to be up on top. See if I can snooze these ads for a little bit. Is blue team just overkill on hours, though? I heard you have to work much longer hours being defensive. Typically, yeah. You're usually going to be on call for events to come up, and they will, and they do. And a lot of times they're false positive fire panics, but sometimes they do come up. And then sometimes you have to go work at odd hours because you're going to be implementing something that they don't want to do during primetime work impact hours. So that could be a thing. On the flip side, though, blue teamers also tend to be paid on average better than red teamers. I'd say probably 15% better. So, let's see. All right, so our HTTP beacon is just kind of chilling out here. Cool. So last thing we did was we created a kind of cool function here. We created an alias for doing these queries against this MySQL server that we're going to compromise. And we did it in two different ways. We can either just run it this way, where it uses our token that we have currently, or we can pass it the domain username and password, and we can query it impersonating some other set of compromised credentials. So that was actually really cool to see, because we haven't done things in this way before. So let me look at something next. I want to try something, actually. I want to see if we can query this as Bobby Boy. So our DNS beacon, I'm going to close this one. I'm going to keep just this one. Actually, before we do that, there was one other thing we needed to do, which was we needed to test the service binaries. We needed to make sure those were actually working. And the reason for that is because when we did the AV evasion stuff for the payloads last time, it broke the service binaries, which is horrible thing, because a lot of times the privilege escalations we're going to have is abusing vulnerable services. Big said I want to do threat hunting or research, but I just want to get into a job or start gaining knowledge at an increased rate. Yeah, dude, threat hunting is a really cool job too. It's about as offensive. It's about the reddest of the blue team you're going to get, because you have to think very offensively and figure out what they're doing and start looking for their telltale signs. All right, what I want to do is I want to make a new service. We're standard here. Oh, do we need to run this as an administrator to be able to do that? That should be here. Let's export list. I thought this is where you make a service. Xbox Live Network Gaming. This is weird. I wonder why we can't modify these. Anyway, you know what we can do is we can go test this on Workstation 2. I just wanted to see if we could modify something here on the local machine. Our attack box is set up a little bit funny. Okay, let me close this out. We'll just do this over on bfarmer because actually we need to do this anyway. So we had functions here for, I think we called them privesc. Let's see, yeah, we had unquoted service path, weak service binaries, weak service permissions. Yeah, I'm gonna run this. Cool. That's very handy. Oh no, what did you flag now? Let's see, it's 1:50 a.m., 6:3. It didn't flag anything. I think it was flagging because it said it couldn't do a sample submission. Oh, there we go, okay. So this is what we expected, was vulnerable service 1 has an executable here. So if we place in service.exe, it should do that. So let's cd over into that directory real quick. Oh, dude, did that fucking kill our... That's so weird. Why would that kill our beacon? I want to try something here real quick. There are some oddities that I've noticed. So I'm going to run this again. I'm going to have it do the HTTP one. And I'm going to try this again. So this beacon is just dead for some reason. Let's go ahead and we're going to remove that one. I'm going to run the exact same things I just did. So I'm going to set the sleep to interactive. Previously, I was doing incident response and forensics for a cloud provider. It was definitely longer hours. Like, keep your Pelican cases loaded with your equipment and wait for a call at 3 a.m. kind of thing. That's rough, man. know exactly which IHOP you're at, Mech. For those who hadn't gathered, Mech lives in my area. Let's see. All right, cool. So that's back up and running. I want to try this again. I'm going to run this. Privesk, unquoted path. It's literally all we did last time, and it killed our beacon. And for some reason, when we're using run 32 DLL as our spawn to, let's go look at something real fast. Oh, we did it in a different. We come up here. Let me connect to the team server. Yeah, you did send me a picture from your hotel. All right, so CD into Cobalt Strike, C2 profiles normal, and then let's Vem Webbug down. So here we had the spawn to set for both of these to run. Wait, that's not right, is it? This is running SysWow 64. Okay, I need to check on these values here over in the documentation for. Oh, I can hear the APT. I think he's giving Mama Bear a headache. Control the temporary process we spawned to, which in this case was run 32 DLL. Yeah, or run DLL 32. Let me double check something. That's so weird that the equivalent for 64-bit DLLs. That's weird that the 64-bit one is in System 32, and the 32-bit one is in SysWow 64, which I think is how we have it set. Let me see. Yeah, SysWow 64 for 32-bit, and actually we have it set to Sys native. I want to try changing that. SysWow 64. And the reason I want to change this is because actually, hold on. What did he have it set to? For 64-bit, he had it running from System 32. According to this guy. All right, I kind of want to try that. I'll change this to System 32. And I'm going to change this one to SysWow 64. I think that's what we set to. Let's see, what are we looking for? We're looking for run DLL. Why are you not showing up in here? That's a pain. Let's see here. Yeah, so System 32, run DLL 32, and then we have SysWow 64. So 32-bit. Okay, I think that guy just had it backwards. So System 32 should be running the 32-bit version, and then the SysWow 64 should be the 64-bit version, which makes way more sense. Okay. Yeah, looks like that should be it. Now the downside is I don't know how to restart that without just restarting the team server and losing our connection. So I think that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to task both of these sessions to exit, and then we're going to restart this team server. And unfortunately, I've run out of ad snoozes, so we're going to have to run the ads here for just a second. All right, these are both exited. Let's remove them. And I'm gonna leave Cobalt Strike up for now. I think I can just come in and restart the team server. There we go. I think I got to sudo that too. Yep. And it should show on our attack box that we lost our connection. It should come back. Okay, so I got to run an ad break real quick because I've run out of snoozes. I'm going to let it go for 3 minutes, so grab a drink, grab some water, go to stretch, go to the bathroom, and we'll hit this back again. Thankfully, the 3-minute breaks don't bother us for an hour, so I think I hit the mute button. Be right back. Almost forgot to unmute myself. All right, ads are just about to wrap up. All right, cool. Ads are done. Let's pop back over here, and we're going to run our DNS one again. So I want to read this because even though it's kind of a conversation between Mech and Totes, but it actually resonates very carefully with me too, because it's a very similar to the story I had, in that I didn't do very good in high school at all. So, but he said, I barely graduated high school and only have an associate's degree, but gained a lot of working experience from the college that I was attending, working in their labs, and eventually helping teach. Then led to a professor offering me a job to get my first blue team, get into blue team stuff. That's exactly what happened to me. I graduated from high school in 2002, and I was teaching martial arts and was doing good with that. But I graduated like in the bottom 50% of my class. But then fast forward to 2012, 2009, I went back to school, and then 2012 transferred to TCU and was doing there. And I was zero point zero 0.01 grade points away from graduating with honors with a math degree. So don't think about how your performance in high school is going to necessarily impact your future prospects. You can change them. Sometimes the school learning system isn't conducive to you. It's not conducive to a lot of people, but it's considered the standard. So maybe don't settle for the standard. Try and find a better way. Like when I was in high school, they wouldn't let me take introductory programming because they said my math skills weren't good enough because I was in extended algebra, which basically meant instead of having algebra on just A days, because we did an A day, B day split, I had algebra every day. And that was because I never did my homework. I refused to do homework until my senior year, just so I could graduate. Hey, Franklin. So we're testing out a couple things real quick. One thing I realized I forgot to test. When we went through and built all of our payloads, we bring that up. We forgot to check the service binaries. So Windows service binaries don't operate the same way that regular, like PE executable binaries do. They operate slightly differently and have different control codes to them. So whenever we come through and we zoom in here, zoom, enhance. So for example, see this one's DNSX64.exe. Well, there's also DNSX64.svc.exe. So this is the service binary version of this right here. And whenever we did the AV evasion last time, a while ago, something in it broke the service binaries. So we're getting ready to actually go test this real quick because we need whatever modifications we make to actually let the service binaries work. That could be a massive hindrance because there's a lot of attacks you can do using service binaries. So we're going to double check that, and then we're going to be doing a little bit more MySQL shenanigans. All right, cool. So this is up now. I set that to interactive. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Oh well. But now I want to do spawn x64 HTTP. Because what's been happening is for some reason, we made a modification over here to our WebBug profile in how it was actually spawning the subprocesses, because whenever you issue a command to the beacon, it's not going to run it directly from the beacon process. It's going to fork it to a new process, run it in there, and then capture the output and just send it back. That way, if you send a funky program and it crashes, it doesn't kill your beacon. All right, so we got our HTTP one now. So I'm going to try this again, sleep 0. And so this says it's running from run 32 DLL. Our PID is 1804, so I want to try something over here. Actually, I want to go look at it on the machine. So 1804 is what we got to find. Let's go over here. I want to run Task Manager. All right, and then what we're going to do is go to details, and we're going to sort by the process ID, and we're going to look for 1804. There it is right there. So it is running in run DLL32.exe, but let me check the properties here. So this is running in the Windows System 32 version of this, which I don't think it should be. But we're going to go find out. If we go to run DLL, there it is, run DLL32. Let me look at the properties of this. Is this the actual 32-bit version? That's what we're trying to figure out. Details. Okay, so there's another one in syswow64. Windows, your naming conventions are just abysmal. Let's see. So this one have any details to it? It doesn't say which one is the 32 and 64-bit versions. But if we come look at our configuration, when we reloaded it, it should have loaded actually over to here. So you know what I think I'm going to do? Let me go look at something in the Fortran documentation real quick. That's controlled the temporary process that we spawn to. Okay, so even here it says syswow 64 for 32-bit and sysnative for 64. Okay, so that's such a freaking stupid naming convention. Way to go, Microsoft. Okay, so it should have actually been this. This was correct. Let me try some. Let me check something real fast here. I'm gonna check something in the documentation real quick. There we go. Because I kind of want to control the temporary process we spawn to. Damn it, I wish I had made a copy of this profile before I blew the lab away. Because we had a version that was running. For some reason, this run DLL32 just keeps getting flagged. I wonder if this guy has any examples of other binaries to use. What was it called? I think it was called like the XP service DLL. Yeah, I think this was it. xpservices.dll. That's the one. I think that might have been what we were using. Keep your eye on the prize, Totes, because yeah, answering help desk calls sucks, but just keep in mind that's a means, not an end. That's not what. Let me actually just look for something because I want to say I looked this up. Cobalt. Actually, this is a fairly recent one. This is from March 10th, 2023. Let's see what he's got to say. Just to see if they mention what they're actually using to do this. So DLL loader, the raw DLL loader must be present on the file system. The raw DLL must be free from obfuscation. Collective loaders versus Windows DLL loader. This is very interesting, but I don't know if he's got any actionable stuff we could do with this. This looks like they made something called loadbeacon DLL.c. This is really cool research. It's just a bit beyond the scope of RTO. I need a more simple answer, to be perfectly honest. Let's see. Yeah, actually, this is a really cool bookmark that. Cool article, but not what we're looking for. Let's see. I want to say we had used... We had used that. On to... Yeah, that's what he was using this too. He was using the same thing. Or no, he wasn't. That's all commented out. There we go. So here's what he's using. I'm going to try dropping this in. Because I forget what we had before, but it was working better. This kind of in-depth material is actually covered really well in RTO2. This in. Yeah, there we go. So, why am I doing this? Because sometimes I'm pedantic. That's why. I don't think I even used that word properly in the sentence, but it makes me sound extra smart. Unless you know what it means, then it makes me sound extra dumb. There we go. So we'll save that. And then we got to restart the team server again to apply it. Actually, I don't know if it applies to currently running beacons, so I actually want to exit these, and then I'm going to remove them. And we're going to start over again, so we don't kind of pollute our data that we're looking at here. Close, 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 and close. Okay. Don't open Edge. Damn it, that was not good. Nobody wants to open Edge. Hey, SM, what's up, dude? Happy Sunday.
Hack the planet!
Hack the planet! What's up, Stealth? How you doing, dude? Happy Sunday. It is a good, happy Hack the Planet Sunday. Alright, let's try this again. So we're going to get our DNS beacon back. You should start using our new profile. There we go. And we'll have this one just go interactive, because why not? We're not so concerned about them doing DNS network analysis. It is a happy Sunday. Stealth, I finally fixed the, finally finished the chicken coop. Finally. And then, of course, I moved my one lone chicken in there, and a giant thunderstorm comes rolling through. So, not only is she traumatized from having seen 3 of her broodmates get butchered by my dog, now she's like, oh, cool, they built me a new house. Oh, God, what's happening? I know, right? That chicken is probably going to produce the weirdest looking, like, trauma eggs ever. Poor thing. So one thing that my friends that are kind of teaching me about this had us do is they said when the chicks are little, you take them out of the brooder once a day, and you just kind of handle them, play with them, pet them, you know, don't really get crazy with them, but just get them used to being held. And then they become less spazzy, like when you got to go into the coop and go pick them up and move them around and stuff. And that seems to be the case, too. The last standing chicken, I did decide to give a name to. I call her Goldie. And Goldie's usually pretty chill with me picking her up and moving her about. So it was great because all the kids, because I'd have 3 kids staying in my house during the day. My sister was watching them. And she'd come in and just, the kids always be like, I want to pet the chickens. Like, all right, fine. Yeah, we'll go pet the chickens. Like, all right, then we get done. They want to go play. It's like, no, go wash your hands. The chickens are disgusting. They're filthy bird brains. All right. We'll just give this a couple seconds to, like, stabilize, and then we're going to try spawning our x64 HTTP. And it should spawn to... Where did we put that? To DLL host. Okay, so I don't get this. It spawned to run DLL32. I wish I said I could finish something, but I almost got the new subfloor in. Dude, that's how I felt the whole time we were working on the chicken coop. Like, it's almost done. The next day, get finished. Okay, now it's almost done. The third day, now it's almost done. Finally, the fourth day, we did finish it. You'd think I was building like a giant chicken mansion, but no. It's just for like 8 chickens. It's not even that much. So I wonder why this is still using the run DLL 32. Let me check something. Oh, you know, I just realized something. I wish I had dug more into this, but we actually had something in here for the stager. That's it, the XP services DLL. That's where I was remembering that from. We had that in the stager section here. Hold on, I want to see where this shows up in the Fortra documentation. Okay, so ask the x86 reflective loader to load the specific library and override its space instead of allocating memory with virtual alloc. Gotcha. Okay. That's where that's coming from. Could not recall exactly what this was doing. So whenever we load up something, instead what it's going to do is it's going to get a copy of XP services DLL, and then it's going to basically overwrite the executable code function or portion and then have it go through. Yes, I am. So probably sometime this week, I'll go pick up another group of chickens. Probably, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7. It depends, because like I have the one. I'd only intended on having 8, so I might go get another one. Oh man, I can hear my wife having to deal with the APT right now. I may have to step away for just a second. I'm listening. I can hear it. Yep, I can definitely hear that. Guys, I'll tell you what, I'll be right back. I'm going to try and run like a short ad break so we can try and delay that a bit to make use of this time. But I can hear the APT is giving my wife high blood pressure. So give me like 1 minute. I'll be right back. Hey, Leroy, what's up, dude? I have to go. So for those who don't know, the APT is Advanced Persistent Toddler. That's my youngest son. And he is aggressively persistent, especially around bedtime. So give me like 1 minute. Let me go get him sorted out. I'll come back. We'll keep on the hacky hacks. Yeah. Yeah, I know, right? All right. Give me like 1 sec, guys. I'm going to run ads while we're gone so it can stop bug me about ad breaks, and then that'll make use of this time. So be right back. Okay, y'all, I'm back. Oh, that child. That child. Nobody will know how to push your buttons like your children. Oh my gosh. He's I call him my Sour Patch Kid because when he is sour, he is oh so sour. But when he's sweet, he's very sweet. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Did this get interactive yet? No, it did not. Okay. We got to set this to be interactive. All right. What is workstation complaining about? Virus protection out of date. Don't care. So we'll let this go interactive here, and then I'm going to try something else again real fast. Let me actually go check something real quick. What out of this? Let me do Vim. I think it's an Etsy. Crap, I can't remember where that is. Remember where we set up our profile. Check real quick. Because we so rarely have to do this, I forget, and I haven't documented where those are. Let's start in the team server. Running as a service. Here we go. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's right, because we had to do sudo vim. There it is. Teamserver.service. Okay, so we are running the webbug.profile. Just making sure that's where it was. And then that was the one we were modifying. Yep. Okay, cool. Just making sure all those variables are lined up. I do like being a parent, yes, but there are some times I actually had this discussion with a coworker of mine who does not have children, and he was talking about he was going to get a night nanny to like take care of the kids at night, and I was like, dude, why even fucking have the kids if you're just going to offload like all the annoying shit about them? He's like, what? You're telling me everything about having kids is rainbows and sunshine? It's like, hell no, no. Kids are little terrorists, and their primary method of torture is sleep deprivation, at least in the beginning. So they'll do stuff that like you'll be exhausted, you'll be tired, they'll be screaming, they'll be hungry, they can't communicate, so they can't tell you what they're. They also can't communicate, so that makes them extra frustrated because you're not getting whatever signals they're sending because they haven't learned how to communicate yet. And there'll be some time like you'll be asking yourself, dear God, why did I choose to go down this path? And then, just then, their survival instincts will kick in and they will do something that is just the sweetest or cutest little thing you've ever freaking seen, and then you're back to positive. So no, it goes like this: like they just whittle you away till like you're about to go into the red, and then you're back to positive. That's how it works. One of my coworkers said her kids are like suicide machines. You always need to watch them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that was before we put all the soft corners around everything in reality. I can be mad as shit at my son, and he gives me one look, and I'm over it. Dude, yes. I remember one time my nephew was like standing up in his high chair, and my brother was like getting onto him and like being like actually like forceful with him, like you sit down, don't do that again, and then he stands up, and my brother sees him, turns around, and he sits back down real fast. My brother gets up in his face, like, you better sit down, you're going to fall down, you're going to crack your head. And my nephew just goes, and gives this little baby grin, and he just starts dying laughing. Yeah, exactly, that's what they do. That cute is their defense and survival mechanism. All right, let's see if this thing works now. It looks like all of our profile points are lined up. So I'm going to try this again. I'm going to try the privesc, check for unquoted service paths, and we'll see if this kills our beacon again. Okay, it didn't. So I don't know what happened if we just had something like horribly mismatched in our webbug code, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a copy of this real quick. So for anybody who wants to check this out, give me 1 second here. So we actually, this code right here with the aggressor script, we're actually uploading that into GitHub. So if anybody wants to mess around with it and tinker with it, there's a copy of it. I'm actually going to add a new file to it real fast, and it's going to be a helper file for our webbug profile stuff. Because the only thing we modified was this part up here, the stager and the postx right here. I think that was all we needed. Let me double check something quick. I don't think the order of these matters, but I want to double check something. Yeah, I think that's all we need to do. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to copy this part here. I'm going to copy that. I'm going to make a new file. And we're going to call this one C2 profile defenses. Actually, I'll just call it mods. And we'll just call this .txt. I'm going to drop the contents over here. There we go. Commit that change. So now we're going to have that up in the GitHub as well, just like some of the modifications we made over to this. There we go. All right, so we'll go back to the RTO helpers, CNA. Perfect. Nice. So I'm trying to create my first website, and holy shit, I'm trying to figure out background images sucks. I know, right? Everybody shits on UX developers, but actually I did the UX for Deimos C2, and I will never shit on C2 on front-end developers ever again after having done that. And then later, a buddy of mine went and actually started his own firm, and he was having to work with front-end developers. And I guess maybe he actually believed them and didn't believe me. And he told me, he's like, dude, I didn't believe you whenever you told me like all the stuff you had to go through to build the UI. And it's like, and now that we had to do it from scratch for this other thing, and I was like, well, shit, I built Deimos from scratch. So, hey, y'all. So we were doing various hacking shenanigans. We're going through a course called Red Team Operator right now. And so there's a link to the course if you want to check it out. And the whole purpose of that is going through and doing red team engagements for companies. So essentially, they will bring you in, you'll infiltrate their network, and you'll see how you can get access to a particular high-value piece of information, whether that be a database, a particular piece of intellectual property, whatever. So that way, the company will know, hey, here's where our detections land, here's where everything else lands with this, and how we can work through it. Yeah, Toads, hit Mech up, because he's a really cool guy. He's super smart, especially if any of y'all are car hackers, that's also like right his jam. So you can talk to him on there. Let's see. Okay, so Leroy said trying to get transferred into Cyber, and I figure I'm putting everything in a blog along with my projects on it. Damn, yeah. Dude, Leroy, also make sure you've got a GitHub with like some of the little things you've built. And it doesn't need to be anything fantabulous, just something that is doing something that other people have done, but maybe just doing it in a slightly different way or a more efficient way. Because that'll do two things for you. One, you're going to learn the technique much better by having developed it. And two, you're going to be able to showcase that you can go develop new things based on current ideas. Because that really is a big chunk of security. Probably about 5% of it is novel ideas. Maybe a novel exploit or some kind of new bypass technique, whatever. And then 95% of that is just finding ways to implement that outside of the very controlled environment that the researcher probably developed it in. Okay, cool. So our C2 profile is now working to where when we run a freaking command, it doesn't squash our HTTP beacon. So fantastic. So now what I want to do is I want to CD over into this directory here. this one right here. I'm going to copy this. So we're going to CD over there. And let's do a ls. So we see service 1, 2, and 3. I don't care. Go away. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do an upload. So we're going to upload payloads. And we're going to upload... Which one do we want to do? What listeners do we have? Let's see. I want to make a new listener here. So we're going to make this an SMB listener. So it's going to be listening on a SMB pipe. We're going to call this one... call this one SMB Privesc 1. Yep. And we'll call this same thing, Privesc 01. This is just the name of the pipe that's going to appear, though, where the data is being written in and out. And if you're not sure what a pipe is, it's basically, think of it just like a fake file that's a region in memory that allows data to be dumped in and read out of. That's pretty much it. It's just a space in memory that's accessible via a file path. All right, so now what we got to do, though, is we got to go regenerate our payloads when we do this. So let's go to payloads, generate all payloads. I'm going to put this into the payloads directory. All right, good news is I think the APT has calmed down and actually chilled out. So I haven't heard, I haven't had to hear my wife getting on to him yet. I thought actually using GitHub and other resources. Not going to lie, though, I'm going to have to watch a few videos on how to get it. So one thing you can actually do, Leroy, check this out. Post blog on GitHub. If you haven't seen this, I'll drop this in chat here, Leroy. So this is how you can actually build a blog on GitHub and have it completely hosted. So it's something called GitHub Pages. So check that out. I actually probably should do that for my own domain. I might just have blazebits.net forward over to that, or at least the like web connections. Haven't decided yet. I was thinking about doing some other stuff with it, but yeah, that's it. That could be a simple and awesome, like nice looking way to build your portfolio blog. Ah, cool. And all of our payloads finished generating. Nice. So let's come back to our interface here. So we're going to do SMB Privesc 01, and we want the service exe. Oops, I skipped it. So we'll do service.exe. We're going to upload this to the box. It should upload really quick because it's not that large. There we go. And then, do we have a move command? Is that it? Or is it rename? Yeah, there we go. So we'll do move, give it this name here. And we're going to call this just service.exe. Because what we found is vulnerable service 1, right, has an unquoted service path. So what's happened here is every time there's a space, it's going to assume it should append .exe and then pass everything else as command line parameters. So when it hits we have access to write to this folder here. So if we drop in service.exe, it's going to try and run service.exe before it runs service space 1.exe. And then we can basically intercept that hunt path and have it run our malicious executable first. So I'm going to drop that in there. All right, cool. And then we should just have to restart the service. So I think we do that power pick. What is it? Is it start service? I can't remember. PowerShell start service. I know I was going to add a D&D section in it too, just because it's something I enjoy and keep staying consistent. Dude, yeah, totally do that, because people aren't just going to be hiring you for your skills alone. They're going to be hiring you as at least if it's a good company, they're going to be hiring you as a person, right? They're going to want you to fit in with how the company is designed and the culture of it. So definitely put that in there. In fact, I'm supposed to have a D&D game this Friday, except I'm going to be going out of town. Oh, there we go. So just start service. That's what we need. So start service. I don't think I even need to specify the name. I think I can just tell what the name is. What was the name? Vuln Service 1. Oh, I'm missing the B. So if this works, what we should see is we should see a name pipe in here. Do power pick ls. That's really ugly. Let me try it over here. Because for some reason it renders really ugly in there. But let's see if there are... So do ls double backslash dot backslash pipe. Let's see. So I don't see... Let's see. I don't see our pipe listening, which is unfortunate. Because if our SMB beacon had started running, we would see it listed right here. And it would be like BlazeBits tag privesk01. But I don't see that in here. Let's check our services real quick. That's one nice thing about the way the RTO lab is designed. Because you can get console access to all the machines. You can go through and you can be troubleshooting the various techniques you're trying to do. Let's see. So Vuln Service 01. Oh, it says it's running. I bet I need to restart it. I'm going to stop it. And start it. All right, that's actually fine if it says process terminated unexpectedly, because that's actually the design of that. But look at that. Yes, the service binaries work. God, that was such a pain. Yes. So now what happens with this? Check this out. This is listening here. This is called a peer-to-peer listener, right? So if we look at our map here, we've got these two sessions. One of them is DNS, that's this one. One of them is HTTP. So if I come over here to the HTTP one, I can actually issue the link command, tell it to link either to myself or to another computer, and then have it connect to BlazeBits privesk01. And look, we have a system level beacon now. We are the machine god. That's how this works. Sweet. Very cool. All right. I'm so glad, because God, I forgot to check that last time. And if I had to go redo the AV evasions because I broke the service binaries again, I was going to be very mad at myself. So I really got to get the idiot cup set up. Although it's probably not going to be a cup. I was thinking about having like a loading bar maybe at the top of the screen. It's like a % loading or something, and when people drop bits into the idiot cup, it will be like like it's just a loading bar kind of looking thing. I have no idea how to build it though. That's kind of what I'm thinking about. I gotta figure it out though. And so for anybody who doesn't know, the idiot cup is gonna be every time I make a demonstrably dumb mistake, I have to throw bits in there. And then once it reaches a certain amount, we're gonna donate that to charity. So I also want to have it set up so people can go donate bits into it as well. So if you just want to, donate, but you want to make sure it's going to charity, you can do it that way. And right now, I don't know what charity, but I'm thinking St. Jude's. Okay, cool. So now we can go back to the MySQL shenanigans. Or not the MySQL, the MS SQL. All right, let's go look at this real quick. So actually, I do want to do one here. I want to do something kind of like this. This is our MySQL query one. I kind of want to duplicate this right here and do it the same way. Execute queries. Yeah, we'll do that. And then I kind of want to do, I'm going to copy these down. And what we're going to do is, instead of query, we're going to call this one check impersonation. They spell impersonation. There you go, check impersonation. Because what we can do is, if we have impersonate privileges, then we can go do exactly what it says. We can impersonate other users on it. To run query, check impersonation. Make that real simple. And then I'm going to change this, and we're going to change this. Oh, there we go. So rather than query being something like, so rather than query being passed in, we're going to take this part out. We're going to take this out. Basically just what instance we're going to do. I'm going to take this out. So that should be good. And then the query, we can actually just define this down here. And that should be good right there. I want to do, let me take out this print line here. Let's bring this down. And the query is just going to be a static thing here. Actually, I'm going to do it like this. Let me copy this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do, I'll just type it in. So we're going to do this. Let's see. So we'll do select all entries from sys.server_permissions. Let's see. Yes, where? It would help if I could type it correctly. Where permission underscore name is equal to impersonate. Yep, that should be good right there. And then what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna wrap this in double quotes. And then yep, that should be good right there. I think that will work. I'm gonna backspace escape this star just in case. And same thing with these right here. I think that should be good. Let me check something. Okay, so we already built in the query parameter here. So this should be good. Because this is just running a built-in SQL query right here. So let's save that. And let's come over to try that real fast. So we need to reload this. This is going to be MySQL, or MS, God, I keep calling it MySQL. MS SQL check impersonation. So what we'll do, let's close our listeners menu. So every time we modify the script, we got to re-import it. So we'll go to Script Manager, and we'll do blazebits reload. Line 719, we got a typo somewhere in here. Oh, you know what? Actually, the typo is this. I forgot that. I probably want to backspace escape that as well. Right there. Okay, so that seemed to have worked. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit Control B. That's going to kind of hide it down here. But check that. What it does is it splits it on the bottom. So this is already highlighted. So every time I hit reload, it will just reload our script. But I can just bring it down here and hide it. All right, so now once we're here, we still want to stick to bfarmer for now, but I want to run this option right here, check impersonation. Okay, so I saw an error pop up there for a second. Looks like we just got the help output. Invalid parameter specified. Oh, that's right, because we had to specify... We need to specify the MySQL... Oh, crap, what is it? Hold on. That's right. We have a not connection test. Find instances. We have to specify the instance that's going to run. Oh, dang it! We got to do. We need to import PowerUp SQL because it uses a function from that library. So there we go. Now we can do find instances. This was another little helper function we made. There. So we need the actual instance code, which is the hostname plus the port. And now what we can do is check impersonation against this instance. What do you mean invalid parameter? Stuck. Module starting with star. I wonder what's wrong with the formatting of this. Let me see. Maybe I don't need this extra thing right here. Let's see. That should be correct. So select star from sys server underscore permissions, where permission underscore name equals impersonate. So let's do something here. I actually want to do, we're going to put in a debug statement here. So we'll do print line, and what we'll tell it is this is going to be didn't do that right. There we go. We'll do this, and we'll say args equals, and then what we'll do is we'll just append args onto it, and then we're going to do the same thing down here, so we have it for all of our executions. Oh, so that's why we're getting invalid parameters specified, because this was set up for the previous invocation up here, which had more parameters. It had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's actually 6 to it. So this should actually be reduced by 1. This should be 2. This should be 5. Because we're not taking a query, we're running the query manually, or specifying the query. All right, so now I really want to I wonder if I can actually just put a return statement in here. Now I'm curious. Like have it return without executing. Like if it hits this block, can it just return? I want to try that. So let me reload the script. So I'm going to run this again, but I'm going to give it a bunch of like fake parameters. Okay, cool. So that was a way we could exit it, because what was happening up here, we were running it. Right, we're running it. We're hitting the invalid parameter error message, but then B execute was still at the end down there. So we were hitting it. Okay, cool. Nice. All right, so if we take all this stuff out, we just run it with the instance. It should use B farmer's win token to then run that query. Okay, cool. So we have class 101. So there is something listed in here. So actually what I want to do here is, if we can stack this query together, we can actually see where this comes from, because what we've got here is, see, we've got the class, which is 101, description, major ID, minor ID, the grantee principal ID, which is 268. This is actually what we need to figure out, and the grantor principal ID. So I wish I could actually like parse these out and stack them.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
It's GoPro!
GoPro Slow virus detected in the network.
It's the GoPro virus. I send the Cookie Monster virus. Slow you down. What's up, dude? How you doing, man? What we all working on? What a Giga Chad raids and then uses mod permissions to shout himself out. You are an awesome person. Awesome, dude. We're messing with some MySQL stuff and automating a few things in aggressor scripts. So I was trying to debate if I wanted to try and do a stacked SQL query, but I don't think I quite want to because we need to figure out what these values are. So it's just a matter of opinion on how I want to approach this. But thanks, everybody. If y'all are hanging out with GoPro, I know you're instantly hella intelligent and very smart people. So, yeah, we're going through and doing... actually, in case anybody doesn't... for those of you who don't know, my name's Blaze. I've been in IT for 14 years, and I've been a penetration tester for 6 of those years. And I am buttering up the crowd, yes, because they have to be smart to follow along with you in your amazing rants. So, but so like I said, I've been a penetration tester for 6 years. I am working on transitioning into doing red team assessments as opposed to penetration testing. So that's what we're working on here. We're going through Rostamouse's RTO.
User Orbital Gun _ is online.
Orbital Gun, love that name. Yeah, so Link servers is part of it. We're also checking to see who we can impersonate right now. So there is a server that we have access to that is linked from the child domain to the parent domain. So we're going to mess with that in a little bit. Oh, thanks, GoPro. You're so awesome, dude. I gotta come up with some better alerts than just the built-in Twitch ones. Yeah, they're okay, but they're not neat. So, by the way, if anybody wants to check out the course we're running through, this is not like an affiliate link or anything. It's just a link straight to the course. It's built by Rostamouse, if you know who he is. If you don't, learn, because he's an awesome dude. And he built this course up, and it's really great. The best thing about it really is that you get exposure to Cobalt Strike without having to spend $3,000. The course is actually really inexpensive compared to all the other cybersecurity courses. Created while I was blazing. What's up, dude? Whooping yin. So, yeah, right now, so I was actually looking at how do we want to... We're looking to see like who we can impersonate. So we're doing this all by automating some of this stuff in aggressor scripts for Cobalt Strike. Just to try and make things a little bit more quality of life. So the kicker here, though, is when this query comes back, it's going to come back in a way that might not be very fun to parse with regex. Actually, since it's got a delimiter in it, that wouldn't be necessarily so bad. We could try it out. I'm out in guard because the plants are going to... we're in alignment here in the UK, and I'm trying to catch a glimpse at dawn. Oh, cool, man. Dude, I highly recommend Clay, the CRTO. It's such a good course. I think just on stream, from when I started streaming in February to now, I think we put easily 200 hours into it. And that's because we didn't just hit the main quest line, as I call it, going down the course. We've gone off in all sorts of different directions. You know, we doing all the side quests, so hopefully going to be massively over-leveled when it comes to the final boss, aka the exam. Especially since I was going to take the exam here in like a couple of weeks, but my boss asked me to hold on till, I think, the first week of July because we have like a professional development week scheduled for my team. And he's like, just do it during that week. I was like, okay, why not? So I kind of want to do this. I don't know how to handle this for if we have multiple rows returned. I was just trying to think about this. Because this is assuming we only have one row returned, because that's how it is in the lab, but if we had multiple rows returned... You know what I want to do, actually? Let's modify the parameter. So rather than getting, like, everything from the select statement, rather than having everything come back from the select statement, really what we need is the grantee principal ID and the grantor principal ID. And then we could look those up in the service principals table. I think that would work. I think we could do that. I'm taking the OSCP soon, then CPTS, and starting a new job that will pay for CRTO 1 and 2. Badass, dude! Get some! All right, what is the CPTS? I don't remember which one that is. There's a whole ton of 4-letter acronyms for certifications now. If I have to make one, I'm going to make mine like CFART. I don't know how I'm going to make it work, but the Hack the Box one, okay. Yeah, CFART. That's going to be my certification if I ever make one, just for fun, because I want people to be able to say certified farter or something on their CVs, you know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how much benefit you're going to get to the CPTS versus the OSCP. Studying for your Sec Plus right now, Leroy. Dude, everybody's got to start somewhere, man. I was told this before on the stream, but like if 6-year past me could meet me today, I would think I was like, oh my God, that dude's so awesome, and I'll never be on that level, right? Just because I've changed so much from then to now in what I know and with the breadth of stuff that I've learned. So everybody has to start somewhere. I'll make my own. Brumbo's enumeration, exploitation, and reconnaissance cert. Beer. Beer. I'm preparing to get my RTO exam at first attempt. How to follow your streams for exam prep. Dude, I do all my streams here on Twitch. They're also over on YouTube. So there's recordings of it. So if you want to go through and search for things in there, I think the YouTube search algorithm does a really good job of figuring out like what streams were on point for certain things. So you can go over to the I think the live stream tab and then hit the little search bar right there and type in something like SQL, find stuff, privilege escalation, and I believe it actually correlates against the automated closed captioning that it builds. So that transcript that happens in there. So it's a lot of fun. All right, unfortunately the ads are coming up over on Twitch and I cannot stop them real quick. But that's fine because I need to go get my water because I am just about out of my Jocko drink. So not sponsored by Jocko yet. Not yet, Jocko. You guys will answer my emails. All I need is 2 cases. 2 cases for a month, and I will sing your praises. So, Franklin, I'm getting ready to do mine too, and it's going to be coming up probably first week of July, I think. So, okay, guys, we're going to do a 3-minute ad break. Go get some water, go get a snack, go get a stretch. Blood flow is important. Keep it running, and we'll be right back. All right, Joe, I'm back. Ah. All right. Also had to go check on the APT, which for my new Raiders that just came in, that is the aggressively persistent toddler, aka my 2-year-old. And so I had to go check on him, make sure he actually did go to bed. And what's frustrating about him is he's not dumb, but he sure is good at playing dumb. He's like, no, I don't know how. I'm like, BS, kid, you know how. I saw you go unlock the door. So I thought I needed XYZ certs to land my first pen test job, but now I got the job. There's not so much pressure to get them, but already done with most of the training. Dude, go ahead and knock them out. Yeah, the certs are really more for just getting your foot in the door. And then after that, the main thing is kind of just showing body of work and understanding the process, really. Don't get me wrong, there's a big difference between like a junior and a senior penetration tester in terms of experience and technical breadth of knowledge, right? But really the primary thing is how efficient are you with the process of conducting those penetration tests? Do you understand how to effectively communicate with the client, doing the scoping, performing the actual test, keeping notes, writing the report, delivering the report on time, managing expectations with the client if you need to, if you don't have a project manager. So all those things are kind of what sets you aside to becoming a real like senior penetration tester. Yeah, a lot of certs are to get you past the HR filter. That's true. Which is really why you only need them kind of in the first place, because if you get good at networking, going, meeting people, talking to them, hanging out, then a lot of times your leads for new positions will probably come from your network of associates that you know. You know what I want to try? I want to try something. Because this is using our impersonate, using Bob Farmer's account, because we didn't specify an account here, right? So if we look at our help function that we wrote, we actually had two different invocations of this. We had instance, domain, user, and password, and then we had instance right here. So let's try that real quick. I want to try that with, so the domain is dev.cyberbotic.io. And then the user will be jking. And crap, what was jking's password? I believe it's in our documents here. Wait, was that right? QWERTY123? That doesn't sound right from what I remember. Hang on, let me check something. Interesting, because this is saying jking's password is QWERTY123, but we got a different one for... Oh, okay, never mind. I was looking at a different account. So jking is an administrator, so we should be able to use jking's account. So we drop in the password here. And let's see if this works. Does jking have like any additional permissions for impersonation? Does not, so still 268, 267. However, it does look like it came back and it worked, right? Because here's what it tasked it to run. Win domain, query, the instance, the domain, the user, our password, and then our impersonate select query. Perfect. Awesome. Let me look at something again real quick, because I think we can probably just stack these queries. So rather than doing a select star, let's modify this a little bit. Let's bring up the ultimate clipboard buffer, notepad. So here's our query that we're going to run. And we're going to modify this. Copy. And we're going to drop this in here, just like this. So rather than doing a select star, we want to select two individual values. We want the grantee principal ID and the grantor principal ID. And this is going to be grant for. So that's going to give us the principal ID, where the permission is equal to personate. And then, well, let me think. How do we do stack SQL queries? I'm trying to remember. Let's see. SQL subqueries. Here we go. This is not what I was thinking of exactly. Subqueries for SQL servers. All right, so we're going to select these things. So here, this is one unit, this is one unit. Oh, okay, as this from wherever we're going to be selecting it from. Okay, so we can group these queries together. Let me get the other one. Copy. Let's bring this over here. So this would be the follow-up we would use to this. We would select the name and principal ID, type description, and is disabled from and I think we can just add a where statement on here. Every single high-quality hiring process I went through was a result of someone I knew by doing Hack the Box or some training. Yeah, exactly. Same thing that I had. So I mean that has been true literally my entire career, because I got my first blue team position out of college. I was working at a community college in their Cisco lab. One of the professors whose courses I supported worked for an outfit, and they needed to hire a junior blue teamer. And so I had heard about this through the grapevine. I asked about it. He's like, dude, yes, you apply right now. I was like, all right. So I went and applied, got through the interview process, and that was how I got my first like IT job out of college. Twitch ran out of e-girls because I'll listen to Nerd. Now I know you're lying. They're never going to run out. Ever. As long as people keep throwing bits at them, they're still going to be there. What's up, Pale? Happy Sunday, dude. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Let's try something. I want to try running just this query real fast. So what's cool is the way we actually built this. Our check impersonation, we can actually just use the query. Hack the planet! I think that's all we have to do. We tried that. Did it not like that? Let's see. Let's check our MySQL query command we wrote. Yeah, he called it MySQL. It's MS SQL. MS SQL query. It should just be the instance and the query that we're gonna run. Maybe we need to put this in single quotes. Oh, you know what? We didn't fix that problem for this one here. I'm going to do a return. There we go. This way, this was the same issue we had down here with the check impersonation. It would hit the error, but then it would still try to execute the assembly with no args and just give us the help output. Let's reload that. Actually, you know what I think? Let me try something real fast. Did I screw this up? Yeah, query actually was supposed to be number 5 right here. I just realized something. This one, this invocation actually doesn't quite work. I just realized. And the reason for that is because how the size works. Because of that. Listen, these are our positional properties, right? So number 1 is the beacon. It's always the beacon. Number 2 is the instance. Number 3 is the query here. But on this one, number 6 is the query right here. So we need to adjust this. Oh, how can we do that? Let's take this out. I tell you what, let's duplicate this error checking that we had here. We'll bring it up to here. Because this invocation, this parsing scheme, it works here. But it doesn't work for the other ones right here. So we want size to stay there, but actually we want to take this and we want to cut this out. This actually needs to go right here in this if statement. There we go. So this would be correct for this invocation of the args right here. And then if we come up here, we can do a similar thing. But instead of this being the case, we're going to take out these 3, the domain, the user, the password, and this is going to be number 2 right here. There we go. And the reason we didn't start with 0 is because 0 is actually the beacon ID, because this is an array of all the arguments passed to the alias. So if we save that, and let's reload it. And I want to try running this one more time. Let's hit it. You are full of shit, sir. Hold on, but we should have... Let's go to our script console. As we check here, we should have an output telling us what this was. Oh, that's not right. MS query length 9. It should be 3. So let's go try this again with the double quotes. Okay, there we go. Perfect. Here we are. Now we're cooking with propane. That's right. Hang on one second. So I'll be right back. I'm back. Play, it's funny you mentioned PowerUp SQL because actually what our script does here is actually makes use of it. So we're using the SQL recon.
Caution. A virus has been detected.
Salty Demon 86
Salty.
virus detected in the network.
My bro. What's up, dude? Cookie Monster. Hey, Oni, yes, I am. I live in actually live in Dallas. So, Salty, by the way, everyone, let me give him a shout. How do I do that? There we go. Go check out Salty. He does gaming streams. Does a bunch of different ones like Fortnite, Gray Zone Warfare. We used to do Call of Duty before Activision like just lost their collective minds. Bunch of other ones. He's my Marine Corps brother from another mother. He is an awesome dude, and he's actually the one that I do. We do mentoring streams with on Tuesday and Thursday. So he comes on, and we're currently going through some Try Hack Me, so he can start learning, some basic cybersecurity stuff. So, what's up, brother? Are you feeling better finally? I'm tired of having to message you every day. Like, you still alive, bro? Yeah, here. So Clay, this is what you're asking about. Yeah, we actually have power up SQL wrappers. Basically, these are just helper functions that wrap around power up SQL for us to be able to get some info real fast. Still feel like crap. Aw, dude. Um, that sucks, dude. Like that's kind of how I felt. I think back in March, maybe April. Yeah, I was pretty crappy for like 2 weeks, and had to cancel more streams than I thought I would ever have to cancel. Usually, I thought I'm trying really hard to be consistent with it. And only yes, I do try to go to DHA. It's a little questionable like when I can make it out. Sometimes it can, especially Wednesday nights right now because my schedule has shifted. Let's see. In fact, like that's this Wednesday. Oh gosh. I may be able to make it out this Wednesday. Okay. Cool. I'll try to make it out this Wednesday. I just realized that was this week, but I got a lot going on because I'm going out of town on Friday. Um Call me Hurl. What's up, dude? Uh, yeah, because like Wednesday I've got Wednesdays is just a really long day. And also, I'm getting ready to go out of town on Friday to go to another cross country event. My son and I do cross country ATV racing, and there's a practice day coming up. So we're getting ready to do that this coming Friday. Oh, dude, yeah, it's such a short drive from where you're at right now, Mech. You should totally go. Okay, I think we might have this sorted out now, where it actually will run our query appropriately. Yes, we did. Cool. So this is up and running. What I want to do now is to select this right here. And my SQL knowledge is somewhere on the order of horrible to abysmal. So I'm trying to figure out how to do subqueries here. Let's see. Here we go. So here's the database. Here's our students. Okay, so we're going to select the name, location, phone number from database. That's here. We're going to where the roll number in here. Okay. Okay, I think I can do that. Let me look at this real quick. So this is the name, the principal ID. Okay, so we need to just select the principal ID. I don't know how to stack this. Let me think about this. So this one tells us what the groups are. This one tells us how to find the principal ID. So let's take a look at this. Let's just try and wing this. Or section equals A. Okay. So then we just do a stacked select query in here. So I think if we take this, see what it said, where rule number in here. I think if we do that, that may work. I kind of want to try this. Let's just give that a shot with our just raw query command here. That was not correct. Let's copy this out. Copy this out. All right, let's just see how this fails. Incorrect syntax, new keyword. Okay. Maybe we don't actually need in for MS SQL. Non-Boolean type specified near this. Damn it. So one thing we could do is we can get hackish on this, which is kind of the theme of the stream anyway. So we have this query set up here, right? So what we could do is we could refactor this here. We can call this the... Didn't want to do that. Query impersonate. So we'll do this. We'll do query impersonate. We're going to change this variable here. And every time we had query, we're going to just change this. Wait, hold on. This isn't the correct function. Oh god, that's the wrong function, I think. Wait, no, it's the correct one. Yeah. Query impersonate, and then this is going to be query impersonate, because we're not actually taking the query and we're doing it this way here. There we go. And actually, I'm gonna redo this like we had it in the other one. There's instance 1, and then all of these are gonna come down here. So we're just changing the way we're passing the arguments or parsing the arguments that get passed to it, and we're gonna take this stuff out. There we go. So we're going to have our queries up here. We're going to have this run and essentially do it how we want to. This info is going to come back. Oh, damn it. You know what we'd have to do to get this to come back? When we did the execute assembly, we'd have to have a callback in here. And we'd have to have a callback function that we could then do as a subroutine. Damn it. All right, Mac. Check you out. I'll check in with you tomorrow, dude. Have a good night, man. Yeah, for anybody who's in the North Texas area by chance, there's a really great meetup that happens in the west side of Dallas called Dallas Hackers Association. It's a lot of fun. It's a good time. It's a lot less rowdy than I remember, because I hadn't been in a couple years, and those guys used to go till like 2 a.m. I'm like, you know what? You youngins have good. You guys do that. I'm gonna go home and get some sleep. Dude, believe if you're out there, come on down. Last time I was at DHA, it was a couple months ago, but I got to play an early access version of the Advanced Persistent, the APT card game, Advanced Persistent Threat. I think that's what he called it. And he's getting ready to actually release it. He's done a phenomenal job on this. And so I can't wait to try it. I'm actually going to see about maybe do that as like a fun stream on a Saturday where I'll set up some cameras so you can see everybody's hands and we'll just play. Have some fun. Yeah, it's such a fun game. It's got a lot of cool sub strategies to it also. I'm close to Huntsville, and I know damn well there's some type of hackers there. Yeah, Leroy, no kidding. Yeah, I mean, dude, you could start up Huntsville Hackers Association. Yeah, we are doing impersonate. Oh, that's cool, Oni. It would be Has. What's funny is there's also AHA, which is the Austin Hackers Association. And DHA actually started off as by being inspired by Austin Hackers. But Austin Hackers is a bit more, I don't know, let's call it highbrow, a bit more snooty. You actually have to go and present, and if you don't present, then you're not allowed to attend. And so, yeah, the guys who started up here didn't want that. They just wanted it to be available. Yeah, that was their rule. And it's kind of on brand for what is it? It's kind of on brand for, I'm trying to think, for Austin, just because Austin's it's like the hipster capital of Texas. That just sounds lame. I know, right? Go about open source learning, but you have to prove yourself. Yeah, pretty much. So, in fact, the rules for the chat here on the stream, I actually pretty much just copied from the rules that we have for Dallas Hackers. Don't hack the venue. Don't talk about illegal things. Number 2 is everybody's a Fed. See rule number 2. So, something like that. Yeah, Phil Wiley actually lives here in the area, and I love Phil. He's such a cool guy. I mean, the dude wrestled a bear. You don't get much cooler than that. Yeah, I'm not super close friends with Phil, but I do know him. He knows me, and I don't have anything bad to say about the guy. He's a wonderful person. Let's see. All right, so this I think. So I think what we want to do here is actually have this do a callback. And I was kind of avoiding trying to do a callback, but I think that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make a new subroutine. We're going to call this our check impersonation callback. And then we'll have this go. And then I actually need to check the documents for B execute assembly. Come on. There it is. So to get to the callback, we need one null parameter and then the callback. Okay. So let's do this. So we've got our args. We're going to pass in a null parameter. And then our callback is going to be this underscore. There we go. So what's going to happen is when we run this execute, it's going to run our SQL recon assembly. It's going to pass the args value that we constructed up here. And then it's going to pass all the output over to our callback right here. So let's go look at what our output actually looks like from that. We're getting a lot of stuff here. Let's just do something real quick. We're going to do a real quick dirty thing. We're just going to tell it to log to $1 the output, which I think is $2. Let me check. Yeah, so $1 is the beacon, $2 is the results. Okay. So yeah, so what we'll do is we'll just have it log that real fast. And then we can check the output and we can start working on some very basic regex. If the regex gets complicated, I'm going to bail on this real fast because regex in this particular coding language is a hot dumpster fire. Like a nuclear level dumpster fire. There we go. You are a dirty, dirty liar. Oh, you know what? We deleted the size command. Damn it. I knew there was a reason we needed that in there. I did not mean to take that out. All right, so copy this. We'll bring this over here. There we go. Because we need the size variable so it knows how to do the flow control. Derp. Right. Let's reload this again. And then we can... Now it should... Yeah. By the way, if anybody doesn't know who we're talking about, it's this guy. Philip. I can't remember how to spell his name. Wiley? I don't know if that's it. Yeah, here he is. So it's this guy right here, Phil Wiley. He lives here in the area, and just a super awesome dude. He has a website? Oh, cool. Does he have like his own podcast? I didn't know that. Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, I'm gonna drop this in chat. So he's publishing pretty frequently. And so he's all about like basically like cybersecurity evangelization. Very cool dude. Okay, so what we need here is we need to so we need this stuff right here. Actually, I want to try something. Like, I want to try doing a split on this. Like, split by new lines. And then see if we can... Nah, it's fine. Because we have the impersonate right here. So if we do the impersonate and we grep against that, let's see if... Let's do our regex 101. So here's our test string right here. So if we do, what we want is this value here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we want 5 and 6 from this. So what we want is we want some digits plus, and then some words plus, right, some more digits plus another pipe. So that's going to give us, that's 1, 2, 3. We want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll do the same thing. Let's see. Yeah, pipe. Oh, you know what? I just realized I'm a dumbass. These actually need to be backspaced. These need to be escaped because it's doing these as or statements. Now we're talking. All right, so then what we want is we're going to do a capture group, D+, close the capture group. That's our first one. And then we'll do this again and essentially just duplicate this. Oh, we need a space in here. All right, cool. So that should work right there. Oh, cool. And because since we had to do digit matching, we don't have to worry about these first couple of lines in here. So here's hoping this will work. So we're going to try dropping this over into our script. So what we'll do is we'll call this our regex value. That's going to equal this. Oh god, what am I doing? Just fat fingering all the commands here. All right, so once we define our regex, we can actually come through and have it do matches against this. So our oh crap, how do we do that? This is such a weird esoteric language. Oh, cancel. Let's see, where's our regular expressions? I had 99 problems, then I started regular expressions, and now I have 100 problems. Regular expressions, here we go. So in here, we might need to make an adjustment to like what sequences match because this uses its own. Okay, so rather than \d, we need to do \p digit here. So we're gonna have to adjust our. I have to adjust this because it uses some really weird syntax. Make that. Copy that. Now I need to also what would be the equivalent for /w. That's our words in here. Matches numbers or letters. Matches uppercase. I think that would work. Yeah, that's all uppercase. Actually, shit, what is /w? I'm trying to remember. Matches any word character. Okay, so there's got to be a word character grouping. Printable character. We could do that. At least I think we would want to do that. That matches all ASCII characters. That matches all uppercase. Actually, yeah, because we can't do just uppercase because there's going to have an underscore in there. I could ask ChatGPT to do it. Hell no. Oh, sorry, Oni. I just saw your calendar thing. Is that for the? Is that the InfoSec calendar? Because there is an InfoSec calendar in okay. Tell you what, I will, on your behalf, just drop it up here so you don't have to repaste it. Yeah, I have that same calendar imported over into my calendar. Perfect. Let's see. That's cool. So that matches anything except ASCII. Matches any white space. Oh, with the uppercase P. Okay, cool. Who would be the word characters?
User Esso Exile is online.
Hey, Esso, what's up, man? Thanks for coming online. Oh, here we go. So, okay, so actually \W does work for this. Perfect. So we can leave that alone. We can have it match digit, 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 capture this group, and then I know there's a way, I think it returns it as an array whenever we come back and capture like multiple things. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. We can have it dump this into, I think instead of match though, it'd be matches. Okay, but yeah, that's what we can do. I think if we do it this way, parentheses, comma, separated variables. So we can do our regex. Let's do, so we'll do dollar, what's the first one? The first one I think is the grantor. Yeah, grantee and then grantor for the permissions. So do grantee and then dollar grantor. I think that should work. And this equals matches against, and shit, what is the, I think it's data and then regex. So it'd be, we're gonna just try it. We're gonna try dollar, wait, no, $2 and then dollar regex. I think that's the correct syntax for it. Let's go double check real quick, because we have this used in other places. Yeah, there we go. So it's dollar, yeah, it's the data and then the regex. Perfect. And then let's try one more thing here. Let's do, we'll do another blog. Do blog against $1, and then we'll say the grantor equals, then we'll string concat that to $grantor. And then we're also going to put in the grantee. And so what we're doing is we're doing this so we can go through and we can automatically enumerate who we have impersonate privileges against on the SQL server. So the grantee, so the grantor is who we have permission to, and the grantee is who's receiving the permission. Then we'll just do dollar grantee. All right, let's go try this now. So this should call our callback as soon as we execute the assembly. Should be good. Let's go try it. Let's see where I forgot a semicolon this time. Hey, looks like I didn't actually forget a semicolon. Oh my god, it worked the first time. Holy shit. That is the only time the regex has ever worked the first time. Hey, no problem, man. This is the total like learning stream, by the way. For everybody who's new, if you got questions, I've got answers, and if I cannot dazzle you with my brilliance, I will baffle you with my bullshit. And I'll tell you when I'm spewing bullshit if I don't know it. But yeah, we had some pretty interesting conversations in here. We had one guy talking about like smart contract auditing last night, and that's not an area that's a strong suit of me, but I know some tools on how to learn that kind of stuff. So we were sharing those things back and forth. All right, cool. Dude, this is awesome though, because once we have the grantor and the grantee, what we can do is we can modify this other query here. Let me undo this. Can I undo this? Actually, I'll just take this out. All you go bye-bye. There we go. Actually, no, this is perfect. We can do where? I think we can do the, it's the principal ID, I think is what we want. So where the principal underscore ID equals, let's see. Dude, that actually is like, that's a nat 20 roll right there, because the regex implementation, this is, what we're doing is Cobalt Strike aggressor scripts. And Cobalt Strike is actually written in Java. So the coding language they chose to use is something called Sleep. And this is a very esoteric, arcane language. And the regex implementation is abysmal. So there was one time GoPro and I were sitting here troubleshooting a regex for probably 2 hours, just trying to figure out ways to get it to match and figuring stuff out. And so like if you come over to regex 101, it would work perfectly. And you try to like copy the regex. Well, then we found out that it actually didn't need the leading delimiter and the end delimiter with the modifiers. It just needed this section. So that was one big discovery we had. And then that there were different modifiers for these values, right? So rather than doing like \d, we had to do this right here, p/digit or \p digit. And I'm like, what the hell, man? Why not just stick with the standard regex? I did a whole stream making fun of that where I had, the stream was called, if you're having code problems, I feel bad for you, son. I got 99 problems and regex is .star. All right, let's see. So we've got the grantor, we got the grantee. This is cool. So now what we want to do is actually we want to run another set of commands right here. We're going to copy this. I'm trying to think how I want to do this. Because what we want to do is we want to do it very similar to how this runs, right? It's going to run in this very similar fashion. Unfortunately, all that information is up here, and I don't know how to return this back without doing a global variable. So what we could do is we can define this as a global. So we can do, I'm going to call this grantor global. And we're just going to define this as, I think, 0. We're just going to initialize this to 0. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to call it grantee global. And we'll initialize that to 0. And then what we could do is we could probably have this run twice. I don't know. I actually want to try something here. I think if we do where the principal ID equals, I'm going to just try this real quick by hand. So we got 267 and 268 in here. Hold on, where is it? There it is. So if it equals 267 or the principal ID equals 268. I'm going to try running just this query on there. And we'll see where this comes from. Because this is actually our first kind of attack primitive on this. Here we go. So we'll drop that in there. Let's see if that runs. Hey, okay, so that does run. Perfect. So what we could do is... Oh, God, I wish I could get an example where we had, like, multiples return. Like, this returned a couple times. So that we could, like, maybe unique it out. But I think this will work just fine. Okay, cool. So we could just do one more select this way. Just like that, and we can just sub in our values. Perfect. All right, so let's take this. Because what we can do then, once we get this going, we can actually use SQL Recon to impersonate those other users in here. Cool. So let's see here. If we come take this and let's go drop this. So we want that. Let's go drop it into VS Code. Actually, what I want to do next is, unfortunately, looking at the command flow and how this works. I don't know if we have a sleep function. The problem that's going to happen is, let's say I do another B execute right here. What's going to happen is this execute is going to try and fire at the same time that this one is sending data to the callback. So it's going to basically fork it off, send this to the callback, and then do it before it actually runs the... And we can actually see this if we want to. So we can do... I'm gonna try this real quick. So blog $1, we're gonna say finish. We're just gonna say finished in main, and then we're gonna copy this. I'm gonna bring it down here. I'm gonna make this one say finished in sub. And then if we run this, what we're gonna see is we'll actually see finished in main appear before it says finished in sub when we run this. Oh, whoops, forgot a semicolon. Now that should have been... Oh, I think it actually wants this spacing in here. I think it throws a fit if it doesn't have that spacing. The tokenization of this coding language is stupid. I'm not... That's one of the things I hate about Python, actually, is the enforced white spacing. Alright, so we'll run this again real quick. See, look at this. Finished in main. And this is before the main thing even came back. Right? And now we're finished in the sub. So that's the part that is actually going to be kind of hard to process how we're going to do this. Java product's always been a PETA. I know, right? Fucking Java. And it's funny because, like, if you tell Java developers that Java sucks, they're like, yeah, I know. And if you tell any other developer that their language sucks, like, dude, Golang sucks. No, you suck. And here's why Golang's the best. And God forbid you try to piss off the Rustaceans. They just try to claw you to death. Rustaceans. I love that term. Oh. Java developers will never laud the benefits of their language. Mostly because there are none. Called sleep but can't sleep. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly, that's how it works. Alright, so the flow control gets a little funky whenever you're doing this because it does not execute directly. And that can be a benefit, but also right now it's going to be a hindrance in how we want to do this. Because we're going to need these variables to come back to us. Or we're going to need them accessible here. Let's see. Let's see how we're going to do this. I don't think there is like a wait function. Like, I don't think there's like an async model for this. Blocks and waits for the callback process or fork associated with handle to finish. Actually, cool. We might have to be able to wait for this. Cool.
User Praetorians is online.
Oh shit, the Praetorians are here. Damn it, where's Cyberbob when you need him? And if you get that reference, please drop a happy hacker emoji in here. That's the happy hacker. Because that was such an old movie with Sandra Bullock. But Praetorians, thanks for coming online, man. Oh, goodness. Okay. So cool. Actually, sleep does have a wait function. So let's take a look here. So we have sub factorial, sub calculate factorial. Now, where's our wait function? Okay, so this is going to wait for fact12 to finish, which is going to be a fork. Okay, so wait has to be done with fork, and I don't know how that's going to run with this particular layout. Oni, my man, he knows that movie. The movie we're talking about, guys, is an old... I'll call it a hacker movie. It's called The Net with Sandra Bullock. It's from 1995. Holy crap. And the Praetorians basically developed some kind of... I forget what it was called. It was like an EDR type thing. And we're like, Gatekeeper or something. Dude, I feel old too, man. I was 11 when this came out. So, what do you mean it's a 3? People just don't even know. They don't. These people, these 74,000 people, they just don't even know. But that was such a fun old movie. I say fun, but like people get killed in it, and all that other stuff. So, all right. So how do we want to handle this? Because eventually we're going to need to... The only way I can think to actually potentially do this is, again, using global variables, and I don't want to use more global variables. In fact, I'd like to just delete these out, because global variables are bad. What if we can do like a wait for B execute assembly? Let's see. Cobalt Strike, wait B execute assembly. Let's see how ass horrible the Google results are, because Google's results have been such a pain in the ass. Here we go. Here's some callback examples. Callback. Let's see. Okay, so the client executes an aggressor script command with a callback. A request is created and saved in the queue to be retrieved later. The request is sent to the team server. Team server receives the request. The beacon receives the request and processes the task. The team server receives the response. The request is retrieved from the team server queue using an ID from the response. Replies are generated. Okay, so I mean, callbacks are nothing super... So we have anonymous, named, and lambda enclosures. So we're using a named one right here. So this example right here. Okay, so if we just wrap it in curly braces, we could have an anonymous one happen right there. But we've got more processing going that I want to do with an anonymous one. What about the lambda example? I wonder why that's done that way. Let's look at some of the examples they've got here. Maybe they have an example for like Mimikatz. Copy. Declare local variables. Command register copy. Yep. And then we have the CS copy function. Now where does this callback actually get called? I'm too lazy to read all this. So it gets called down here at the end for Mimikatz. BID command ops, coffee callback. Yeah, so these are all like very linear flows. There are not very many multi-steps happening here. Damn. This would be easy if we were just going to be using the user's authentication token. The trick here is what happens if we go down this execution path right here. Try to think about this. Yeah, poor Bob. I feel bad for him. You don't even get to see his face. Like they build him up and then you just don't even... Oh, sorry, spoilers. Actually, now that I do the math, seems like we're the same age. Yeah, right. To tell how old someone is, though, it's super recall the smell of Aquanet. Oh God, Aquanet. Oh. No, in fact, I feel like it's infesting my nose right now. All right, let's see. So how could we handle this execution? Let me take this out because this already proved the point. We could do something that's like really hackish. I just don't know if I want to do that. Which is if we defined grantor and grantee as global variables and we define, let's say we initialize them to like -1 up here like we had initially. We could do a while loop. It basically says while these variables equal -1 to do it. That might not work though, because if, let's say nothing comes back from here, then whenever it passes it to the callback, nothing's going to call back. Nothing's gonna come back when it runs. Let's see. I think how we want to handle this. You know what's another smell that like never gets out of your nose, Oni? Polo cologne. Came in the giant green bottles. Nope. Never forget the smell of my brother's Polo cologne. Alright, let's see. How do we want to handle this? Let's take a look at something real quick. If we could pass certain variables to the callback, we might be able to do this. Alright, we got the ad break kicking up in just a second, which is perfect because I gotta go pee real bad. So we'll do 3 minutes, guys. Drink, snack, stretch, whatever you gotta do. Go do it. We'll come back and we're gonna hit this a little bit more. I think once we finish up this function though, we're probably gonna call it a night there because it is starting to get late. I do have to work in the morning. So yeah, very true. Alright, so 3 minutes, guys, we'll be right back.
User Fusari is online.
All right, y'all, I'm back. We'll give the ads like another 30 seconds to wrap up. Let's see. All right. I think we actually might be able to use the named closure example as I think about it, or maybe the lambda example here. Because what this is doing is creating a lambda function to call the callback and then pass in these parameters to it. So we could actually go structure the parameters to it. I think that would work. I wonder what test num is. Oh, that's inline execute, whatever that is. Okay, not worried about that. But actually, let's try this lambda version here. Let's see if we can make that work real quick. So what we would do here is we still have our callback, but rather than calling that, let's do this. I'm going to save an original copy of this. Let's take that out. Let's do lambda, like that. Shit, what was it? Spelling is not my strong suit. There we go. I'll copy this, I'm going to drop it in there, and we're just going to tick it. But there was no closing curly bracket? Oh, there was. It's right there. There we go. All right, so we have our lambda function here. So we're going to call the callback. This is going to be $1. Actually, you know what we could pass into it? We could just pass it. We could pass it args. Oh, how do I want to do this? Trying to think. So here's our query impersonate right here. So rather than having query impersonate come into the end here, we could have args, and then actually we could come take this and append it to the end of our args there. I think that would work. So let's refactor this a tiny bit. So when we do our execute assembly, it's going to be args like this. And then what we can do is we can take this line out here. So actually, what I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna comment that out and just put it like this. Yeah, there we go. Very cool. So I think if we have it run this way, what's going to happen now is we'll have this run. Oh, we need another closing right there. There we go. Okay, cool. Because I noticed these were not closed properly. Let me close this down. Blow this up a little bit so it's a little bit easier for y'all to. Okay, so what we can do is we can specify our callback. So let's go drop this in here. We'll do this. We do want to pass it $1. And then what we could do is we could pass it args in here. So let's take this out. So we're going to tell it what we want to pass into this. So if we just pass it args, we should be good, because then what we can do is we can specify a new query down here. We can have it execute that. Yeah, I think that would work. This is going to be a bit of a contrived example, because what's going to happen is this is only assuming it works for one line, right? I don't have data to try and test it, like what would happen and how do we have to adjust the flow control if we've got multiple groups that we could impersonate. So it's a tiny bit restricted right now. But also, when this comes back, we're going to see this data right here, right? If we see multiple lines and it only grabs the first one and returns all that stuff, then we'll know, okay, we need to go run a little bit of this stuff by hand. All right, so we have the grantor and the grantee. So let's do that, and then how do we want to do this next? So now, actually, rather than $2, Actually, I want us to try something real quick. I'm going to do $2 and then args at the end of this. Because I want to see if that will allow the same functionality to happen here. Because we're used to having $1 and $2 here. But I don't know if that's going to take $1 and $2 from this. So I want to see what kind of happens to this. So let's try running this real quick. Okay, cool. So it does still work that way. Awesome. And then now if we make another modification where I'm going to do this, we're going to say args equals $3. I think that should work right there. Love that dial-up sound.
User Empire 1138 is online.
Hey Empire, thanks for coming online, man. Welcome, welcome. We are doing a little bit of automation in Cobalt Strike tonight. Okay, cool. The args value did get passed through. So now that's awesome. Because what we can do, we can append on our new query parameter and we can run another B execute here. Perfect. Dude, I'm going to have to prep also, but I don't want to stop in the middle of this function here. Because I want to be able to do this. And then I'll know exactly where to pick up tomorrow night. Yeah, man, hopefully I'll catch up on Wednesday. If I can make it out there, I will. Wednesdays are a rough day because I have a lot of obligations on Wednesday. But if I can make it out to DHA, I'll be out there. Yeah. It's just life, the universe, and everything gets in the way of the fun stuff. My wife is actually super understanding and tries to make time for me to go do those things. But even with that understanding, sometimes it just doesn't happen because the other stuff gets in the way, even though she's perfectly amenable to it. All right, actually, I'm going to take this part out right here. This was just for. Actually, I could take all this out real quick. Actually. So let's define another query here. So let's do $query is going to equal. How did we structure the query up here? Just a double quotes. Okay, cool. So we'll drop this in here. Let's come grab this query that we had built up earlier for our SQL query. We'll drop this in, and this is actually going to be a string concat here. So we're going to do we need another space, dollar plus space dollar grantor. Oh, and then we got to do something else here. We got to do plus dollar plus space. So the plus signs. This is like I was talking about the forced white spacing. If I didn't have these plus signs on either side of the dollar sign plus the spaces, this would actually just start collapsing down on itself, and we get a syntax error. I'm gonna drop that in there, and this is gonna be grantee. Awesome. And then what we can do is copy this B execute command here. So we'll do SQL recon args. And actually, this is going to be. We're just going to call this query. So that's going to be real easy. We'll just delete this out, and we should be good. And then we can take out the rest of this stuff too, because we don't need the callback for that. We can just let the data come back as is. All right. Hold on to your butts. Let's see if we got this. No syntax errors. So that's a plus. Oh, nailed it. Fuck yeah. God, this sleep code is such a pain in the ass. All right. I think that's where we're going to stop for the night. So if anybody has someone that they like that we can raid out to, please drop them in chat. Let's see. I'll start checking science and technology first. See if we have any other. Actually, take that back. First thing I check is InfoSec streams. Which, if you didn't know about this, y'all should be stalking this for people to watch while they're live streaming. Lots of cool people. B7H3 is usually on during the daytime. Het Tennis does a ton of high level, actually really low level, detailed Linux work. His stream is really good, especially if we want to pick up lots of neat tips and tricks for Linux. There's this dude called GoPro. He occasionally shows up. Um, just razzing on me. He's the one who raided me earlier, and he's one of my mods. So, Hate Handles also. He's taking a break right now, but if you catch him on during the day, he's a cool dude. He's working on his OSCP right now. All right, let's check and see who we've got for. This guy's doing Mid Journey. Oh, what a perfect like still shot of like the hackers, Hacker Zero Cool up there. That's perfect. Let's see. So he's gutting a PC, doing star observations. Man, we need more people in science and tech. This should be a more popular category, just to be straight. I don't see anybody. Okay, let's check software and game dev. Let's see if anybody is up to something fun in here. Let's see. Making a game. It's a lot less software, a lot more game dev. Yeah, I agree with this. Coding is fun when everything works. No kidding. When it doesn't work, it's frustrating as hell. You told me a while ago, but our socket disconnected. That doesn't tell me what you're working on, though, bro. Or this guy just working on stuff. It's like, okay, what kind of stuff you working on, man? All right, we might just go raid over to the duck stream. Can't find anybody worthwhile on here. Building a better Fortnite. Oh, good luck to you. Fortnite makes a shit ton of money. Researching custom co-pilots. Which one is that? I'm trying to see. Oh, this guy. Okay, cool. Let's go right over to him then. I like his name. Talk to me, Gooseman. Awesome. All right, cool. Everyone, y'all have a fantastic Sunday. Oh, hey, hold on. Before I raid out to him, I'm going to set up the raid. We're going to get it started because it has like a countdown to it. There we go. All right, so we're going to start the raid on him. I'm going to go drop this. If you guys want to take a look at the Cobalt Strike script that we're doing and tinker around with it, I'm going to drop this over in the GitHub right now. So let me edit this file, drop in our new stuff. I update this every nightly. Let's do adding MSSQL helpers. Impersonation. Cool, so those changes are up live on the GitHub now. So, all right, everyone, y'all have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, whatever little bits left of it, depending on your time zone, or a fantastic Monday morning. We'll be back. We're going to do this again tomorrow night. Same bat time, same bat channel. Hitting it, doing some more SQL. We're actually going to attack the impersonation next time. This was just data gathering to quickly identify impersonation groups. We're actually going to go do the impersonation attacks tomorrow night, and we'll automate some of that a little bit. So, y'all have a fantastic night. I love you. Peace.